Good morning, students. Let us today continue with lecture 34 of IE and I. That is controlled bridge rectifier. What is a rectifier? Since a rectifier is a circuit or a device which converts AC into DC. Now, what is controlled rectifier? Controlled rectifier is a rectifier which uses controlled devices like thyristors. So here is a circuit of controlled bridge rectifier. As we know, in general terms, the controlled rectifier consists of 4 thyristors. This is the bridge configuration of a rectifier. So the above figure shows fully controlled bridge rectifier circuit. It consists of a step-down transformer connected to a single-phase AC supply and on the secondary side connected to a fully resistive load which is connected with the circuit. We can see the circuit, the construction of the circuit. This is a step-down transformer with primary connected to single-phase AC supply. Secondary connected to the bridge consisting of 4 thyristors T1, T2, T3, T4. And the output is connected to the load, this positive terminal, and this is the negative terminal. While this is giving DC at the output, this is the load. Load is a purely resistive load. Now the working of the circuit. When AC single phase supply is connected to the circuit, during the first half cycle of AC supply, point A becomes positive, point B becomes negative. Due to this condition, thyristor T1 and T2 are forward biased and thyristors T3 and T4 are reverse biased. Due to reverse bias condition, T3 and T4 remain off even after getting the gate pulse on the gate. Now, but due to the forward bias condition, T1 and T2 are turned on. Due to the forward bias condition, T1 and T2 are turned on. This is on, sorry. They are turned on after getting the gate pulse. After getting a gate pulse on the gate, we get the output voltage VO across the load and output current IO through the load. Now we can see that during the first half cycle, the positive cycle, point A becomes positive, point B becomes negative. This is negative. Now due to this condition, the positive side is connected to anode of T1 and negative side is connected to the cathode of T2. While negative side is also connected to the anode of T3 and positive side is also connected to the cathode of T4. Therefore, T3 and T4 are reverse biased while T1 and T2 are forward biased. In forward bias condition, if we get a gate pulse on the gate of T1, T2, they will turn on and the output will appear across the load. This is V out. And the current, the load current IO will pass through the load. Now we can see at alpha is equal to pi or 180 degree, the AC supply becomes 0. We know at 180 degree, the AC supply will become 0. It will cross 0. Therefore, due to the natural commutation, both T1 and T2 thyristors are switched off naturally. That is called line commutation. From alpha is equal to pi to 2 pi, the supply becomes negative. Now this is the second half of AC supply. Therefore, point A becomes negative and point B becomes positive in the circuit. Due to this condition, thyristors T1 and T2 are reverse biased and they remain off. But thyristor T3 and T4 are forward bias and they turn on after getting a gate pulse on the gate. We get V out, the output voltage across the load, and IO, output current through the load. Similarly, at zero crossing at 2 pi, the thyristor T3 and T4 also switch off naturally due to line commutation. And this is the way the cycle goes on. We get output voltage and output current at the load, both positive as well as negative half cycle. Therefore, the circuit is called full wave rectifier. Since all the four are controlled rectifier, the instant of firing or firing angle can be controlled. Therefore, all four thyristors, hence it is called fully controlled rectifier circuit. And since we are using four thyristors in the bridge configuration, the circuit is called fully controlled bridge rectifier circuit. Now let us see the input and output waveforms. Here, the upper one, this is called V in or supply voltage. That is an AC supply. This is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and 4 pi. Now this is the load voltage. At this particular instant, we get a gate pulse on the gate of thyristor T1 and T2, which are forward biased. So they switch on at this particular instant. Okay, so this is called firing angle alpha. So this switches on and we get output voltage across the load. So this output voltage is due to the conduction of T1 and T2. At zero crossing at pi, now these two T1 and T2 turn off. While the T1 and T2 were on, we get load current through the load, okay, at the same instant. So load voltage and load current are in phase with each other, since the load is a purely resistive load. Similarly, at pi, both T1 and T2 turn off. Now, in the second half cycle, this is the negative cycle, this is the positive half cycle. In the negative half cycle, T3 and T4 are forward biased, while T1 and T2, they are reverse biased. They remain off, and after getting a gate pulse on T3 and T4, which turn on, therefore, we get load voltage across load due to conduction of T3 and T4. Similarly, we get load current through the load due to the conduction of T3 and T4. At 2 pi, they turn off at zero crossing at 2 pi. So, zero crossing of the supply turns off the two thyristors T3, T4. Similarly here. And this cycle goes on. Okay. So, controlled bridge rectifier circuit with purely resistive load is shown above. We can observe from the waveforms that we are getting the output during both half cycles of the input supply, and since the load is a purely resistive load, both load voltage and load current are in phase with each other. So these are in phase with each other, load voltage and load current. They are in phase with each other. So because the load is a purely resistive load. Now since when load is not a purely resistive load, then we can see the condition. What happens? Now, fully controlled bridge rectifier circuit with RL load or inductive load. Here, this is the inductive load, LR or RL load. Fully controlled bridge rectifier circuit with inductive load or RL load is shown above. This circuit is same as the earlier one except for the load, which is an inductive load or not purely resistive load. Due to the inductive load, the load current IO and load voltage VO are not in phase with each other. In fact, the load current is lagging behind the load load current is lagging behind the load voltage as shown in the figure. This is voltage. Load voltage as shown in the waveforms. So we can see the waveforms. So this is the V in supply voltage. This is the load voltage. See, the load voltage becomes 0 at pi, but load current is not 0 at pi. It becomes 0 at pi plus beta. That is called extinction angle. Extinction angle. Okay. So this is extinction angle beta. Now, this first half T1 and T2 are conducting. Similarly, T1 and T2 are conducting. Due to the conduction of T1 and T2, we get load voltage and we get load current. But the load current is lagging behind the load voltage. They are not in phase with each other for inductive load. So this is the main concept of fully controlled bridge rectifier circuit with RL or inductive load. Next we have half controlled. These were, the earlier one was fully controlled, which was having all 4 thyristors in the bridge. Here it is called half controlled bridge rectifier circuit, where we have 2 thyristors T1, T2 and 2 diodes D1, D2. So therefore this is a half controlled bridge. As shown above circuit is a half controlled bridge rectifier circuit in which 2 thyristors are replaced with PN junction diodes. Although we get output voltage VL across the load and load current IL through the load for both half cycles due to purely, this is also purely resistive load. It is a purely resistive load. The load voltage and load current are in phase with each other. Since that is a purely resistive load, we can see the input and output waveforms. So this is the waveform from 0 to pi. T1, D2 are forward biased. In the negative half cycle, this is positive half cycle, this is negative half cycle. In the negative half cycle, T2, D1 are forward biased. So in the first positive half cycle, we get output voltage and output current due to T1, D2 conduction. In the negative half cycle, we get output voltage due to the conduction of T2, D1, T2, D1 and output current due to conduction of T2, D1. Similarly, it goes on. So working is just the same of fully controlled bridge rectifier, except it has 2 diodes and 2 SCRs or thyristors connected in bridge. And for purely resistive load, the output voltage and output current are in phase with each other. Now, when we use RL load or inductive load with half controlled bridge rectifier, in that case, this is the positive half cycle, this is negative half cycle, again positive and negative. It goes on repeating. So in the positive half cycle, T1, D2 are conducting and this is the output current. This is load current, load voltage, this is load current. So current is lagging behind the voltage by an angle called beta. This is extinction angle and this is called alpha, the firing angle. So we can see that current and voltage are not in phase with each other since this is an inductive load. So that is all in bridge rectifiers. Thank you for attending my lectures and keep sharing it with your friends and subscribe my channel.